In a world of digital ads that disappear in a flash and brands that seem to change overnight, how do you create something that really, truly lasts? Well, today we're going to dive into a method that does just that, turning a brand's identity into a permanent physical statement by literally forging it in metal. Think about that for a second. It's an incredibly powerful idea, isn't it? We're not talking about a sticker that peels off or a sign that fades. We're talking about taking an idea, a logo, and giving it actual physical weight, making it permanent through a process that's ancient, but also incredibly precise. Yeah, this is all about getting away from the disposable. It's about crafting an actual artifact that embodies the strength and the endurance of a brand, something you can literally hold in your hands. So how in the world is it actually done? It all starts right at the heart of the forge, with this fundamental, almost magical transformation. I mean, we're going from something completely solid and rigid to something fluid and just full of potential. This is the core principle right here. By applying an unbelievable amount of heat, metal casting lets you shape some of the strongest materials on Earth into pretty much any form you can dream of. It's this amazing blend of raw power and really delicate artistry. You know, the entire process really boils down to these three crucial steps, and each one has to be executed perfectly to get a flawless result. So, let's start with the first one, the melt. Okay, first up, the melt. And let me tell you, we are talking about some serious heat. To turn solid metal into a flowing liquid, the temperatures often have to soar way past 1,000 degrees Celsius. This is where that raw material begins its incredible journey. Of course, the material you start with is absolutely critical. Choosing the metal isn't just a practical decision. It actually defines the brand's message. Are you going for the timeless, classic story of bronze, suggesting history and endurance? Or maybe the modern, lightweight strength of aluminum for a brand that's looking forward? Or what about that brilliant, eye-catching luxury of brass? Each one sends a completely different signal. So while the metal is melting, the second crucial step is happening at the same time, creating the blueprint. But this isn't a drawing, it's a physical mold. And the key word here is perfection. Every single curve, every line of the final logo is decided by this mold. Any tiny imperfection in this negative image will be permanently cast into the final piece. And this is the climax of the whole process, the pour. It's the moment of truth. All that preparation, the intense heating, the meticulous work on the mold, it all leads to this single controlled action where that molten metal finally brings the design to life. Okay, so we get the basic flow, melt, mold, pour. But within that, there's a really key decision that has to be made, and it all comes down to how complex the logo's design is. Let's take a look at the two main paths you can take. So you've basically got two main options here, and it's all about trade-offs. On one hand, you've got sand casting. It's a super robust, cost-effective method that's perfect for bigger, bolder logos. It often gives them a great rustic texture. But on the other hand, you have investment casting. This is what you choose when every single tiny detail matters. We're talking intricate text or really sharp, complex shapes. This lost wax method is just fascinating. You start by creating a perfect replica of your logo in wax. That wax model then gets coated in a ceramic slurry, which hardens into a shell. Then, when you heat it up, the wax melts away. It gets lost and leaves behind this hollow, perfect ceramic mold that's ready for the molten metal. That's how you get that incredible detail we were just talking about. So, the metal's been poured, it has solidified into the shape of the logo. You might be thinking, great, job done, right? Well, not even close. What comes out of that mold is just a raw casting. The real artistry is actually far from over. So now let's see how this raw piece of metal gets transformed into a polished work of art. This is where the skill of the artisan really shines. And just like the casting itself, the finishing stage has its own distinct, very meticulous process. It involves cleaning things up, refining the surface, and then applying that final character to the piece. Every single piece that comes out of the mold has these extra bits of metal attached to it. These are the channels, or sprues, that the liquid metal flowed through to get into the mold. Fettling is that essential first cleanup step, where all of that extra stuff is cut and ground away to finally reveal the logo's true shape. Okay, once the basic shape is there, the surface itself gets all the attention. Now, depending on the look you're going for, artisans will grind, sand, and buff the metal. Do you want a brilliant, high mirror shine that reflects everything? Or maybe you want a more subtle, elegant, brushed satin finish?
This is the stage that really determines the final texture and feel of the product.
For bronze or brass pieces, there's this incredible option to add a real sense of history and depth right from the start. It's called patination. It's basically a chemical process that speeds up the natural oxidation, creating those beautiful rich green or dark brown finishes that you see on old statues. It gives a brand new object this timeless antique character.
But what about aluminum? Well, instead of aging it, you can go in the complete opposite direction. Powder coating applies a really durable, vibrant layer of color. This not only protects the metal, but allows for a super modern, bold look that can match any brand's color palette perfectly.
And this brings us full circle. After all of this work, the intense heat, the precision molds, the detailed finishing, what does it all add up to? What is the final statement that's being made here?
At the end of the day, this is the key takeaway. Molten metal casting isn't just another way to make a sign. It's a process for creating an artifact, something with real, tangible weight and substance that communicates value far beyond what a simple printed logo ever could.
And this artifact communicates such a powerful message. It's not just a piece of metal. It's a statement. The physical weight implies importance. The visual depth suggests there's real substance here. And its permanence, well, that sends the clearest signal of all. This brand is solid, it's enduring, and it is built to last.
So as we wrap this up, we're left with this final thought. In an age of constant change, the act of forging something permanent is just such a powerful statement. It kind of forces us to ask, if you could cast your own legacy in metal, what would it look like?